So what am I fighting for? Everything back and more. And I don't wanna let this go. I'm ready to settle the score. Get ready, 'cause this is
I'm the Barangoat, and welcome back to Robot Wars Reborn Cup Season 3. Well, the day's finally here. It's time to begin the semi-finals after 12 long heats of misery for the seeds, just incredible destruction, and other just standard upsets, because there are upsets and cup sets. It's kind of a different thing in my eyes. But here we are, the series semi-finals. We're ready to start with semi-final A, but there's only one problem. We haven't actually filled out the field of semi-final bots yet. And that's what we're here to start off with. We've been talking all season about the wild cards, about being the best loser in your situation. Well, the day has finally come. We've got 12 bots in the series semi-finals, and 4 more are going to get wild cards to complete our field of 16. And here to tell you more is Rich. How are you doing today, Rich?
Thanks very much, Nick. Welcome to the semi-finals, folks. We started this contest with 96 contenders, and we hold on to the 12 best. And they are the heat winners, who are waiting anxiously to continue fighting, to continue their quest for eternal robotic glory. No pun intended. But 12 not a good enough number for the semifinals. We want to increase that number by 4, so that we have 16 robots in the semifinals instead. And all throughout the season, we've been talking about wild cards, and 1/3 of the wild card candidates, those being the 12 heat final losers, will be given a second chance to continue fighting for the crown. So it's time to get picking. God, I always hate this part, because no matter who we pick for the wild cards, there's always going to be some disagreements. Well, like they always say, let's agree to disagree. And now it's time for us to handpick our 4 wildcard winners. So let's take a look at who we got in the running for those wildcards. So here are the 12 wildcard candidates for this season of the Robot Wars Reborn Cup. And they are, from Heat A, Tornado. From Heat B, Storm 2. From Heat C, Saint Aggro. From Heat D, Spawn Again. From Heat E, Cherub. From Heat F, King Bee Powerworks. From Heat G, Typhoon 2. From Heat H, the Champion, Can Opener. From Heat I, Eruption. From Heat J, Dantomkia. From Heat K, Gemini. And from Heat L, Bulldog Breed. Quite a handful of flippers in there, and only a small variety of various other weapons. We got a couple of lifters in there, plus a rammer, a grabber, a spinner. But regardless, they are all eligible for the wild cards. And now it is time to pick the 4 wild card winners. So, our first wild card winner advancing to the series semifinals is Can Opener. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you expected him to make it through. Not only because he's a champion, but also he performed rather decently in his heat and did well enough to earn a wild card. Plus, it's also nice to have another seeded robot in the series semifinals, so congratulations, Can Opener, you're through. And now for our second wildcard winner to advance to the semifinals. And that wildcard winner is... This is quite a surprise, folks, because it's all of them! That's right, everyone is being given a second chance here. We're not deciding the wildcard winners this time. No. Instead, we are going to let the robots decide the wildcard winners. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to the Wildcard Desperado Tournament. And to tell you more about it, we're going to switch it back over to Nick.
Thanks, Rich. So, I guess I owe you guys a little bit of an apology, because up to this premiere, I had this labeled as Semi-Final A, and I have lied to you guys. You'll probably notice it changed now, where the title will now say Wildcard Desperado. And if you're not watching the premiere of this and just watching it as a video, this might be a little confusing. Just ignore me. Don't worry about it. Anyway, here we are, the Wildcard Desperado. So why did we choose to do this as opposed to choosing bots? Well, with more bots to choose from, and with more spaces to fill out, it just felt like the fairest option. And especially with how the heats worked out this season, I think there would have been some controversy with whoever got the last spot, whoever just crossed the line. I think the first couple of spots would have been obvious, third maybe debatable, but the last one would have been tough. Not to say that Rich and I have done a bad job. I feel like last year we got him spot on, and there wasn't even much convincing from him to me or me to him. We both agreed on those pretty quick. And speaking of agreeing on things, I actually don't know who he would have picked for this year's spots because we never had to talk about it. But just to throw out my picks, here's who I would have picked. My first choice, Can Opener, easy. The bot that suffered a controversial defeat, as has been customary in this series. They usually get it. Typhoon 2 in Season 1, Carbide in Season 2, so Can Opener Season 3 would have fit the bill. My second spot would have gone to King B. I thought he was one of the best performing losers of the bots to choose from. Great first round, great second round, and not a horrible heat final. Somebody just had to lose that, and unfortunately it was King B. My third choice, now this is maybe where people will start to disagree, I would have gone with Gemini. I was very impressed with how Gemini performed over the course of the heat. They got a seed eliminated, albeit number 11, the alien. Then they set a record, and then they went up against Supernova. That's an impressive resume, and he would have had my vote pretty quickly. The fourth spot, let's see if this causes any controversy. I would have gone into the conversation with my fourth spot going to Dantomkia. He didn't do the best, I guess, in the heat final, but he smacked Apollo out of the arena in like 15 seconds, and then before that was completely dominant against an opponent he should have dominated. He did what he was supposed to do, except win the heat final, but he gave it his best go. So that would have been my four. Rich, if you want to tell who your four were in the comments, feel free. But let's send it to Rich to explain the format for our wild card Desperado, because I want to make sure we're all on the same page about how tonight's going to go. Take it away, Rich.
Thank you, Nick. So, here's how the Wild Card Desperado tournament works. For the first round, we are going to have 6 separate one-on-one matches. The winners of those fights will advance to round 2. The losers will be eliminated. For the second round, we are going to have 2 separate 3-way melees. The winners of those 2 melees will take the first 2 wild cards to the series semifinals. And the 4 losers of those melees will fight each other one-on-one in round 3. Whoever wins those matches will take the final 2 wildcard spots in the series semifinals. There's only 4 spots up for grabs and 12 robots fighting to get those spots, so let's get cracking! Alright, here's how round 1 of this tournament looks. We've got King B Powerworks, who's going to have his hands full with the deadly spinner of Typhoon 2. Dantomkia, the number 12 seed, shall engage in a flipper frenzy with the twin trouble Gemini. Can Opener, the champion, is given a second chance to defend his title, but he's going to have to face another flipper, which is Spawn again. Cherub is also going to be fighting a flipper himself, that being the big bad Bulldog breed. And another flipper, like I said, a lot of flippers here, that being Saint Aggro, will be fighting the swirling storm of Tornado. And speaking of Storm, we have Storm 2, the number 2 seed, ready to lead things off with the number 4 seed, Eruption.
From Suffolk, the number 2 seed, Storm 2.
A fast-paced 6-wheeled machine, Storm 2 took out Nuts and Tauron, although not without taking some visible damage, and Fluffy took note of that and was able to finish him off in the Heat B final. Storm 2 did not have the knockout power that could be beneficial for a robot like him, but he did not get that number 2 seed for nothing.
From Warrington, seeded number 4, Eruption.
Eruption dominated Ironside 3 and Bigger Brother before getting dominated himself by Aftershock. He made it as far as Storm 2 did last season, but he's hoping to make it farther than him this time around, and so am I for that matter. It just depends on whether or not he can avoid flipping himself over one too many times.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
So, it's the battle of the seated machines to start off this event. Both robots charge head-on to start off the Wildcard Desperado tournament. Eruption turned over, but makes a speedy recovery right there. And speaking of speedy, Storm 2 drives Eruption into the wall and turns him over again. Can Eruption right himself? Yes, he can, but he lands on top of Storm 2, who flips Eruption again against the Angle Grinder. Eruption once more able to right himself. Storm 2 putting his arm to good use, overturning Eruption up against the wall. Eruption now back on his wheels and on the attack. Storm 2 exposing his backside for a second as he goes for the pin release button, but Eruption was just a bit late to go in on the attack. Storm 2 tried to push Eruption into the pit, but Eruption able to circle out of it, and he got toppled over by Storm 2 again. Can Eruption get away from the pit? Yes, he can. Both robots now in the CPZ. Storm 2, on top of Eruption, but Eruption did not take the opportunity to fire the flipper and overturn the number 2 seed. Storm 2 shoving Eruption into the wall again, trying to tilt him over again, and he almost did there. Eruption able to hold his ground, but can he hold his ground long enough? No, he cannot. He is upside down again. Storm 2 now trying to roll Eruption into the pit, but Eruption is able to get back on his wheel just before he falls into oblivion, and there's another flip there by Storm 2. Storm 2 being dominant so far, getting countless flips in on Eruption. Take a look. Storm 2 flipping Eruption over, popping him skyward. Eruption got to get a flipping on Storm 2. Oh, and he flipped himself over trying to flip Storm 2, but is able to right himself yet again. Storm 2 has a clear lead here, scoring all the flips on the robot that is intending to do all the flipping. Eruption turned over again, nearly went out of the arena. Storm 2 dropping Eruption off onto the arena flipper and drives him across the arena flame pit, and Eruption finally gets a flip on Storm 2, not once but twice. Storm 2 now inverted. Can he right himself, get himself back right side up? Yes, he can. Storm 2 flipping himself back over. That drive right there by Storm 2, he slammed himself into the Angle Grinder, and that allowed Eruption to score in a flip and overturn the number 2 seed, who is underneath Eruption again, getting in from the backside and popping Eruption up in the air again. This is a very nice, fast-paced battle so far, both robots being very aggressive, but Storm 2 scoring most of the points here. Eruption turned over again. Storm 2, is he going to try to throw Eruption out of the arena? He is capable of doing so, using nothing but brute force. We've seen it happen before. Storm 2 trying to push Eruption on the flame pit, and he does so. Eruption taking some superficial damage from the fires of hell, as he is struggling to get underneath Storm 2 to get another flip in. Storm 2 has been so dominant throughout this match. It's going to go to the judges. I have a feeling that my pick for this season is going to fall at this stage, but it's not official until the judges say so, and it goes to the judges. Well, here we are with the first fight of the night and the first judge's decision of the night. Both robots go in the distance, and remember, they are given points based on aggression, damage, strategy, and control. And whoever wins will go on to the next round of the Desperado tournament. And the judges have made their decision, and it is unanimous. No surprise there. The winner, moving on to round 2 of the Desperado tournament, is Storm 2! And once again, my pick to win the Reborn Cup has fallen. Why must you always let me down, Eruption? Anyway, Storm 2 is through to the next round. And next up for round 1, we got Saint Aggro versus Tornado.
From St. Agnes in Cornwall, the Saint Aggro.
Saint Aggro is performing a little better than he did last season, with a KO over Pussycat in the judge's decision win against Donald Thump before being outflipped by Firestorm. He is exactly the same top and bottom in terms of design and weaponry, but how good will his weapon be against the mights of Tornado?
From Soar Tree in Cambridgeshire, Tornado.
Tornado had a couple of one-sided victories over Diotor and Push to Exit before getting absolutely destroyed in a surprising defeat against Splinter. We've seen him using the wedge throughout this season, and here he is with the wedge again. I'm not sure if fighting the flipper with the wedge is a good idea.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
Let's see who has the lower wedge here. Oh, and it's Tornado who's got the lower wedge, getting under St. Aggro straight away. And again, Tornado pushing St. Aggro over the drop zone and scoring some early points as he just hit the pit release button. St. Aggro getting behind Tornado and turning him over. And that's what I was worried about, folks. Tornado inverted, and that wedge now useless. St. Aggro with a crucial flip here to overturn Tornado and render him pretty much helpless. Tornado got to come up with a strategy to get himself rewrited. Actually, no, I take that back. St. Aggro lending Tornado a helping hand. How sporting. Sportsmanship in Robot Wars. This is not what we want to see. We want to see more of that. We want to see more mayhem. St. Aggro with another flip on Tornado. And is he going to flip him over again? Yes, he is. Tornado right side up again. And now back on his back. St. Aggro now scoring all the points with these flips. Throwing Tornado up in the air several times. Tornado now right side up and upside down. Just tumbling over and over and over again. More times than a tumbleweed. St. Aggro, get out of the drop zone, you idiot. You shouldn't be standing there. St. Aggro with a lot of flips in already on Tornado. I've already lost track of how many flips he has scored so far, and we're only a minute into the match. St. Aggro with another flip on Tornado. Tornado gotta get away from St. Aggro, get away from that flipper, and that's proving to be too difficult for him to do so. As St. Aggro got Tornado on top of the wall. Oh, Tornado got so lucky there, able to drive off the wall and away, only to get turned back on his back by St. Aggro. Tornado now helpless once more. St. Aggro just continuing with the flips. He does not want to stop throwing Tornado upwards in the air. He just want to have fun juggling his opponent all over the arena. Tornado, why is St. Aggro not flipping Tornado? Oh, never mind. I take that back. He got another flip there on Tornado. And again, Tornado on the arena flipper. Can he get off? Yes, he can. He got away from there before it could fire. Tornado now trying to get back on the attack. He's got a lot of catching up to do as he flips St. Aggro over. St. Aggro getting a taste of his own medicine there. Tornado now being aggressive here. This is the Tornado that we all like to see. Tornado getting under, overturning St. Aggro and pushing him aside, pushing him away, pushing him around for some more points. And he's trying to push St. Aggro toward the pit, but St. Aggro drives up and over Tornado and gets away. That was a good move there by St. Aggro as he is trying to get to the side of Tornado to avoid that wedge to try to flip him over again. Tornado, he clearly got the lower wedge, and he is pushing St. Aggro toward the pit, but St. Aggro spins out of it. That's the last second. Well done, St. Aggro. Nice escape there, but not from that attack there by Tornado. St. Aggro overturned again. Tornado now making a comeback here. Time is ticking down. It's going to go to the judges. Will Tornado do enough to sway the judges to give him the next spot in round 2? It all depends on what they say. It goes to the judges now that the time has expired. So we have our second judge's decision of the evening. Both robots fought well. They fought aggressively, but only one can go through to round 2. And the judges have made up their mind rather quickly here. They have decided that the winner of this match, taking the next spot in the next round, is St. Aggro! Yep, it was clear that all the flips done to Tornado was enough to give St. Aggro the win. He just juggled Tornado around the ring like a hacky sack, and Tornado is gone. St. Aggro is through. And next up for this round, it's Cherub versus Bulldog Breed.
From Essex, Cherub.
Cherub is a newcomer who started off strong in his heat, defeating Mastiff and Hypnodisc, but then he struggled greatly in his match against Ironaw. I stated that he may have gotten this far just out of dumb luck, but he wants to prove to us that his heat final run was no fluke.
From Cannock in Staffordshire, Bulldog Breed.
Bulldog Breed is the final wildcard candidate to appear this season, chronologically, coming right out of Heat L with a win over Tough as Nails and Wild Thing before falling to Barbarous. As powerful as that flipper is, the question about whether or not he can throw others out of the arena is still up in the air. No pun intended.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
So, it's the newcomer against a bot that fell in round 1 last season. Cherub getting a couple of gouges on the side of Bulldog Breed with a spike as Bulldog Breed gets under and throws Cherub skyward, not really flipping him over though. Cherub able to remain right side up, but now he's upside down, and now he's got to use those spikes to right himself after this successful flip here by Bulldog Breed. Can he do it? And the answer is yes. Cherub is now back on his feet. Not anymore. He's now back on his back and has to use those spikes to right himself again. Bulldog Breed trying to intervene, and he's twirled Cherub around. Cherub landing back on his wheel. This is the kind of situation Cherub had to deal with when he fought Iron Awe back in his heat, constantly getting thrown around and away. Cherub driving up and over Bulldog Breed again and gets thrown up in the air. Bulldog Breed with another flip there, and again flipping Cherub on his side against the wall. Can Cherub get away? Yes, he can. Cherub is able to escape before Bulldog Breed could make an attempt to throw him out. That was a nice backflip right there by Bulldog Breed. Cherub landing on his wheel. I mean, we know Cherub has those wings, but they're not meant to make him fly. They're meant to make him look, well, cool, I guess. Cherub is now on his back again and able to use those spikes to right himself, but Bulldog Breed comes in to throw Cherub back on his back, and he is now pushing Cherub closer to the pit. Can Cherub right himself before Bulldog Breed finishes the job? He's being pushed closer and closer toward the pit. Can Cherub get away? Ooh, Cherub got away at the very last second. So lucky right there. Ooh, look how close he was to going in. I was on the edge of my seat for that one. Cherub now on the run, trying to escape from the flipper of Bulldog Breed. Cherub trying to bring those spikes back into play, but Bulldog Breed looking to get under and flip Cherub again, and he just did right there. And again, Cherub landing on his back, trying to use those spikes to right himself, and he is struggling to do so. Bulldog Breed trying to interfere, but Cherub is able to land on his wheels regardless. Bulldog Breed trying to get another flip there, and Cherub, oh, Cherub, be careful! He bounced himself on top of the wall, driving into it, and Bulldog Breed nearly got him out of the arena there. Look at this. Cherub going up and over Bulldog Breed like a ramp, and went full speed into the wall, and that caused him to bounce up on top of the wall. Bulldog Breed nearly got him out of the arena. That was his chance to do so, but Cherub was able to escape somehow. But he is just struggling here against Bulldog Breed, constantly getting flipped, constantly getting bullied by Bulldog Breed. Cherub getting to the side. Oh, there's a critical hit right there. I guess Cherub is causing all the damage here that we are not aware of. Bulldog Breed had taken a lot of damage from those spikes of Cherub. If Cherub can get that knockout hit, he could be able to turn this fight around, but he's got to hurry because we are winding down the closing seconds of the match. Can Cherub get the knockout hit on Bulldog Breed before time expires? One more try from Cherub, but his spike glances off the wedge of Bulldog Breed, and it goes to the judges. Hey, fight over. Well, how about that? We have our third consecutive judge's decision of the evening, and this is the third fight of the evening too. And the judges have made up their mind rather quickly. And remember, aggression, damage, strategy, and control, those are the key factors. And the winner of this bout, moving on to round 2 of the wildcard tournament, is Bulldog Breed. Yep, it was pretty clear. That match right there was basically a repeat of what Cherub went through when he fought Iron Awe. He has been flipped out of the competition by Bulldog Breed, who is through to round 2. And now to start the latter half of round 1 with the champion can opener and the new kid on the block, Spawn Again.
From West Bromwich, Birmingham, the number 1 seed, can opener.
After knocking out Thor and Black Devil Warzone, the champion can opener lost a highly controversial judge's decision against Lightning. But hey, if can opener can win himself a wild card and get himself in the semifinals, I'm sure all will be forgiven, right? Right?
From East Tilbury, Spawn Again.
Spawn Again is our second newcomer here in the Wildcard Desperado event. He showed a lot of promise in his heat, taking out Bot Ugly and Apex, but then Stinger came along and showed us all how fragile Spawn Again is. Let's see how well he'll fare against the champ.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Can Opener continue to defend his title? Well, he's off to a bit of a poor start. Off to a really poor start here. Can Opener taking a couple of early flips from the flipper of Spawn again. He got to come up with something to avoid that flipper. That didn't work out in his favor. Can Opener, whoa! That was a nice toss right there by Spawn again. Have a look at this right here. Whee! That looked like a lot of fun. Although, if I were Can Opener, I wouldn't really describe that as fun. Can Opener, oh, I do see some visible damage on Spawn again. Can Opener able to fight back with his weapons. I see a couple of puncture marks there on the side of Spawn again. Spawn again scoring points with the flips. Can Opener scoring points with the nips. And again right there, oh, Spawn again with another flip on the champion. And again, Can Opener doing a full 360 off of Spawn again's flipper. And again, another 360. And again, Can Opener, oh, what the hell? What happened there? Can Opener being a little bouncy right there. Spawn again with another couple of flips here. But look at this flip right here. Watch Can Opener. He lands on his claws. Can Opener getting a bit of spring fever right there, I should say. Oh, and Can Opener breaking off a piece of Spawn against flipper. We all saw what happened to Spawn again when he fought Stinger. He lost all of his flipper to the mace of Stinger. Can Opener dish out the same amount of damage? Spawn again, duck on top of his own debris, but is able to drive right off. Oh, how messed up would that be? Losing to your own debris. That would really suck a lot. Uh-oh, Spawn again smoking. That's not good for the newcomer here. Can Opener with this attack right here. And Spawn again is now in major trouble. He was doing well throwing Can Opener around, but Can Opener is now starting to make a comeback. There goes another piece of the flipper. Can Opener get the killing blow on Spawn again? Yes, he can. The champion stays alive and is through to the next round of this tournament. So, Can Opener is still in the running to defend his title, and that's the last we'll ever see of Spawn again this season. Now, continuing with round 1, we've got the 12th seed Dantomkia against the double delinquents Gemini.
From Chertsey in Surrey, seeded number 12, Dantomkia.
Dantomkia, the number 12 seed, is still at large after a dominant victory over General Chompslot and a quick Uda over Apollo before getting executed by the axe of Behemoth. I guess you could say he got executed. I hate my life.
From St. Leather Odd Sea, Gemini.
Gemini set some high standards with a win over the 11th seed, the Alien, and setting a new record for this channel with the quickest KO ever against Cobra before getting dismantled by the former champ Supernova. Now they're back together again, ready for a 2-on-1 flip fest.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
You know, something I can't help but wonder, if Gemini wins a wild card, will they take 2 of the wild card spots in the semifinals? Oh, Gemini hit by the washing machine, courtesy of the drop zone, as the other half gets flipped by Dantomkia. Oh, that's gonna leave a mark there. Gemini overturned and hit by the drop zone at the same time. As Gemini bailed for the pit relief button, Dantomkia going after the first half. Oh, the other half comes from behind and throws Dantomkia out of the arena, right out of nowhere. What a successful sneak attack by Gemini. Dantomkia distracted by the first half, and the second half comes in to throw him out. What spectacular teamwork by Gemini. Well, I'm sure no one saw that coming. I didn't see that coming, and Dantomkia certainly didn't see that coming either. And for that reason alone, he is out. Gemini is through. Now let's wrap up round 1 with King B Powerworks and Typhoon 2.
From Hammond, King B Powerworks.
King Buxton already performed better than he did last season, with a couple of dominant wins over Gravity and Sabretooth before he lost against M2. Well, of course he lost that match. I mean, why else would he be here? Because if he won that fight against M2, then it would be M2 being here instead of King Buxton. Duh.
From Edinburgh in Scotland, Typhoon 2.
Typhoon 2 demolished S3 and Raging Nightmare before he ultimately failed to avenge his fallen brother PP3D in the Heat final stage against Panic Attack, who is now in the semifinals. If Typhoon 2 can get himself in the semifinals, he might get a second chance at vengeance.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Here we go with the final fight of the first round of the Desperado tournament. Kane Buxton attacking Typhoon 2 with those lifting spikes. There goes the piece off of said lifting spikes of Kane B, and more pieces right there. Typhoon 2 dishing out some early damage. Kane B driving over his own debris. Typhoon 2 doing some more damage right here, breaking off more pieces of the spikes as well as the frame of Kane B, and he's now going for a wheel, and there goes the front right wheel of Kane B. He is now going to have a hard time maneuvering around the arena with only 3 wheels, but he remains on the attack, trying to keep Typhoon 2 from spinning up those blades. Kane B, now it looks like he's gonna go for the pit release button. The Typhoon 2 goes in, weapon spinning full speed, looking to knock off another wheel of Kane B, who presses himself against the pit release button. We can hear the siren going off. There goes the tooth off of Typhoon 2 as he breaks off more pieces of Kane B Powerwork. There are pieces littered all over the arena. There goes some more pieces of Kane B, and there goes the spike. Kane B losing a piece of his weapon again, and this time it's the piece of the weapon that's capable of doing damage right there. There goes the spike off of Kane Buxton. Typhoon 2 with 3 blades remaining breaks off the other spike of Kane B, who is now smoking and nearly weaponless. He's got to rely on the saw blade at the back now if he wants to continue doing some damage to the full body spinner of Typhoon 2, who is just continuously ripping apart Kane B Powerwork. He got a critical hit right there. There goes the remnants of the lifting arm of Kane B. He now got to turn around and face that saw toward Typhoon 2, or else Kane Buxton could lose more pieces. There goes the other front wheel of Kane B. Why is he still attacking Typhoon 2 in the front? There's nothing left there, and there's nothing left of Kane B now. He is done for. Typhoon 2 with the knockout hit, breaking off more pieces, taking off the other front wheel, and taking away the life force of Kane B Powerworks, and taking the final spot in the second round. Well, what a massacre that was, and what a messy way to end off round 1, with Typhoon 2 joining Gemini, Can Opener, Bulldog Breed, Saint Aggro, and Storm 2 to round 2 of the Desperado tournament. And for round 2, we got our 2 3-way melees, Can Opener, Gemini, and Typhoon 2 in our second melee, but we got our first melee all set, featuring Storm 2, Saint Aggro, and Bulldog Breed.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
Let round 2 commence. Get out of the drop zone, Bulldog Breed. Saint Aggro getting some early air, popped up by both Storm 2 and Bulldog Breed. Where's Storm 2 going? Is he going to open up the pit? Yes, he is. Saint Aggro driving over Bulldog Breed as Storm 2 gets back in on the action. Getting behind Bulldog Breed and throwing him up in the air. Saint Aggro behind Storm 2, but not able to do much there other than get flipped aside by Bulldog Breed, who gets attacked from behind right here by Storm 2's lifter and momentum. And Storm 2 using his lifter and momentum here on Saint Aggro. Bulldog Breed sitting by the pit, looking to lure someone in perhaps. I'd get out of there if I were you, Bulldog Breed! Ooh, Bulldog Breed able to back out of there in the nick of time, very nearly going into the pit himself. Who's going to go in the pit first? Perhaps we shall see pretty soon, as Saint Aggro is flipped by Storm 2, and he rights himself on top of Storm 2, as Bulldog Breed comes in and attempts to throw Saint Aggro out of the arena, and he ends up paying the price! Saint Aggro throwing Bulldog Breed out of the arena instead. 1 down, 1 to go. Who's going to go next? It's Saint Aggro! That's 2 bots out, 1 bot left standing. Storm 2 the winner here. Here at the end of Bulldog Breed getting thrown over the wall and out by Saint Aggro. And not long afterwards, Saint Aggro meets the exact same fate, courtesy of the lifter of Storm 2. And just like that, Storm 2 has taken the first wildcard spot, and he is through to the series semifinals. Saint Aggro and Bulldog Breed are going to have to do some extra work to get into the semifinals themselves. So while they head back to the pit, we're going to have our second 3-way bout, or should I say 4-way bout, featuring Gemini, Can Opener, and Typhoon 2.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
Who will join Storm 2 in the semifinals, and who will stay behind with Saint Aggro and Bulldog Breed? Well, Gemini flipped over both Can Opener and Typhoon 2. With Can Opener goes after one of the halves of Gemini, the other half looking to toy with Typhoon 2. Both halves each claiming a victim. One half flipping Typhoon 2, the other half flipping Can Opener. Can Opener can run you either way up. Typhoon 2 is still trying to right himself. He's being toyed with by Gemini, as Can Opener is munching away on the other half of Gemini. Hard to decide on what to watch here. It's like two totally different fights going on at the same time. Oh, and Gemini losing the wheel courtesy of Can Opener, as well as the flipper. One half of Gemini in major peril. Typhoon 2 is now back on his wheels and back on the attack, going after Can Opener. Here's Can Opener munching away at the first half of Gemini here, taking off the wheel right there. And shortly afterwards, the flipper goes right there. One half of Gemini heavily crippled. Typhoon 2 trying to get some hits in with the spinner, and Can Opener goes after the other half of Gemini and breaks off the other flipper, and he now goes after Typhoon 2, who is now smoking and in big trouble. Can Opener losing half of his weapon. Gemini trying to get on the attack. Oh, it's Can Opener that's smoking. I thought Typhoon 2 was the one that's smoking, but I was wrong. The champ is in trouble here, as Gemini had taken a lot of damage. Can Opener had taken a lot of damage. Typhoon 2 taking little damage, but is unable to get spinning. Can Opener got his claw wrapped around Typhoon 2, as Gemini loses another wheel and gets pushed against the wall by Typhoon 2 and Can Opener. There goes the wheel there. Gemini getting backed up against the wall and flipped over, and with his flipper gone, he won't be able to right himself. Can Opener losing the rest of his claws and his life. He is out. Typhoon 2 is now left with one half of Gemini. No half of Gemini left. Typhoon 2 with a come from behind victory. He goes through. Well, Typhoon 2 struggled during the first half of that match, but turned the table during the second half, disabling Can Opener and Gemini to take the second wild card to the semifinals alongside Storm 2. Now, it's time to begin round 3 to see which of our 4 remaining contenders will take the other 2 wild cards. Saint Aggro is being drawn against Gemini, but first up, it will be the champ Can Opener versus Bulldog Breed.
Can Opener.
Bulldog Breed.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
Will Can Opener get himself in the series semifinals with one more victory, or can Bulldog Breed perhaps pull off a major cup set? Well, it all depends on how things unfold in this very match. Bulldog Breed throws Can Opener up in the air, tried to get him toward the wall, but didn't. Can Opener thrown over again and again by the flipper of Bulldog Breed, tumbling up and over, trying to get some grabs in with those claws. Bulldog Breed putting that flipper to great effect here, throwing Can Opener up and about. Can Opener can run either way up, right side up, upside down, it doesn't matter. Either way, he can still cause some damage, and that is exactly what he's doing to Bulldog Breed, who throws Can Opener toward the wall, and again, can he get Can Opener out of the arena? Not quite. Can Opener goes backward toward the arena flipper. Bulldog Breed using his own flipper to score more flips on the defending champ, who is desperately trying to get himself a win, to get himself in the series semifinals, and it looked like victory might be within his reach here, because this grab right here is the critical hit by Can Opener on Bulldog Breed, who is low on life. He's got to be careful, otherwise Can Opener could end up with a victory here. He could get the killing blow any second now. There's another critical hit there. One more hit from the claws of Can Opener, and Bulldog Breed will be finished. Will Can Opener get the knockout hit? Yes, he can. He does so, riding over Bulldog Breed's wedge right here. There's the finishing blow. The champ is through to the semifinals. And it's bye-bye Bulldog Breed, as Can Opener is still in the running to defend his title. He had the wild card and is through to the series semifinals. And now we have just one wild card spot remaining, which will go to either Saint Aggro or Gemini. Let's wrap up the final round of the Wildcard Desperado tournament.
Saint Aggro. Gemini.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
So, it's one bot with 2 flippers against 2 bots with 1 flipper, and they're all hanging out very dangerously close to the drop zone, and the range comes crashing down to the arena floor, but it did not land on anybody at all. As Saint Aggro throws half of Gemini out of the arena as the other half opens up the pit. Gemini in major trouble now. Saint Aggro sending one half of Gemini over the wall and out, and now it is 1 versus 1 half. Gemini at a severe disadvantage here, as the half of Gemini still fighting is literally half the weight of Saint Aggro, but still putting up a fight here, flipping Saint Aggro over. Saint Aggro able to right himself, no problem, as Gemini is going to have to do everything he can to avoid getting flipped by Saint Aggro, who flipped himself off of the flipper of Gemini, and the fight just suddenly stopped. What happened? Why is the fight suddenly over? Gemini getting the flip on Saint Aggro, and I'm being told we need to restart the fight.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
So here we go with take 2 of this match, and because we had to reset, both halves of Gemini are back together in the arena once more. Ooh, Gemini very nearly being hit by the ocean buoy. Let's take a look how close that was in the replay. Ooh, Gemini got out just in the nick of time, as all 3 robots are popping their flipper, popping each other up in the air. Saint Aggro trying to get Gemini into the pit, but very nearly went in himself. Now, in case you're wondering why we had to reset the fight, right before Saint Aggro threw the first half of Gemini out of the arena, that half of Gemini drove straight into the wall so hard, it cracked it. That's right, Gemini drove into the wall hard enough to crack the glass, and because of that, it created a safety hazard to the people around the arena, and we had to restart the match because of it. And here we see Gemini flipping Saint Aggro over, and again, Gemini getting a couple of nice flips there. And Saint Aggro with some poor driving up the flipper of Gemini twice. Both halves of Gemini missing with their flips and both paying the price simultaneously, getting flipped by Saint Aggro at the same time, who pushes half of Gemini into a grinder. The other half coming in with a flip and missing, flipping themselves over. Gemini getting behind Saint Aggro and throwing him up and over. Saint Aggro driving up the flipper of Gemini. He is suddenly having a hard time getting under Gemini as he gets flipped over by the flipper of Gemini, not once but twice. Saint Aggro now back and away and gets flipped over by both halves of Gemini back to back. Gemini juggling Saint Aggro around as he finally gets under Gemini and flips him over, and I think there was some friendly fire right there. Let's have a look-see. Did Gemini flip the other half over? Yep, there was indeed friendly fire. One half flipping the other half over and getting flipped by Saint Aggro in the process, as Saint Aggro and Gemini are putting up one hell of a fight here. Who's going to get that final wild card spot? Who will join Storm 2, Typhoon 2, and Can Opener in the series semifinals? It all depends on what happens here, and what happens is Saint Aggro gets thrown out of the arena by Gemini. Payback by Gemini on Saint Aggro, who gets thrown up on top of a grinder and falls outside the arena walls, and it's Gemini who wins. And thus concludes the Wildcard Desperado tournament, as well as the run of Saint Aggro, and it's Gemini who take the final wildcard to join Storm 2, Typhoon 2, and the Champ Can Opener in the series semifinals. And I gotta say, this was a much better way at selecting our wildcard winners than having to just manually handpick them ourselves. What says you, Nick? Do you think that this was the best way to pick our wildcard winners?
Thanks, Rich. So that's the end of what has been a pretty lengthy episode. I hope you guys haven't fallen asleep yet. At the end of the day, I think we've got a pretty good episode here. There were some good fights, there were some dull fights, but it was fun. And it results in the 4 wildcard spots officially going to Storm 2, Typhoon 2, Can Opener, and Gemini. And when you look at those 4 bots in comparison to the other ones, I think we got a good selection, honestly. We've got a couple seeds, we've got some capable machines, some deadly machines. I think this was almost the perfect result, probably. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Now the semifinal is officially ready to go. There's no BSing you for next week. The semifinals will begin, or maybe I'll make it 2 weeks. Do you guys want a little bit of a break? We'll see. We'll see how I feel. Either 1 week or 2 weeks we'll start the semifinal. But anyway, I'm going to do something. I don't know what that is. Take a guess in the comments. Goodbye. You know what I really should do? I should take the tree down. Should also take that Chelsea flag down too. They're playing like ass.